He blew up an entire town rather than let anyone else use it. Literally blew it up with dynamite. On camera, watched it burn to the ground and called it a perfect ending. That's how Michael Landon said goodbye to Little House on the Prairie. Not with nostalgia, not with gratitude, with fire and rubble and a message so clear even Hollywood couldn't miss it. If I can't have it, nobody can. For 30 years, Michael Landon was America's father figure. Little Joe Cartwright on Bonanza, Charles Ingalls on Little House, Jonathan Smith on Highway to Heaven, 3 iconic roles, 3 different decades, all of them built on the same foundation: warmth, integrity, family values. But behind that carefully constructed image lived a man who needed absolute control, whose kindness came with conditions, whose generosity had limits, and when challenged, he made sure people understood who held the power. 5 people learned this the hard way. 5 actors who dared to question him, stand up to him, or threaten the empire he built. And what he did to them reveals the real Michael Landon, not the perfect father from television, the man who wielded power like a weapon. If you think you know the truth about Michael Landon, you don't? Hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications, because what you're about to discover will shatter everything you believed about one of television's most beloved stars. Let's count down the 5 actors he hated most. Asterisk number 5. Melissa Sue Anderson, the sister who saw through him. For 8 years, Melissa Sue Anderson played Mary Ingalls, the eldest daughter who went blind. She worked closely with Landon from age 11 through her teenage years. And unlike the other child actors who worshipped him, Anderson kept her distance. At first, everything seemed fine. Landon nicknamed her Missy and treated her like family. But Anderson noticed things others missed. The way he needed to control every aspect of production. The way he couldn't delegate authority. The way his ego demanded constant validation. Then came 1979. Landon began an affair with Cindy Clerico, a young makeup artist who was barely 18 years old. He was married with children. The entire cast looked up to him as a father figure. And suddenly, the man who preached family values on television was destroying his own family off camera. Writing in her memoir that although they knew Landon could be difficult, they never dreamed he was capable of inflicting that kind of pain on his real family. But what really bothered her was watching him continue to play the perfect father while his real marriage crumbled. The hypocrisy, the performance, the way he could flip a switch and become Charles Ingalls. The moment cameras rolled, Anderson admitted that Landon went in and out of favor with her, explaining that when you hold someone in such high esteem, you can't believe it when they fall. She stayed professional. She worked with him every day. But the bond broke, and unlike the other cast members who forgave him easily, Anderson never fully trusted him again. She saw behind the mask, and what she saw made her keep her guard up permanently. Landon knew it too. He could feel her judgment, her disappointment, and for a man who needed everyone's adoration, having someone see his flaws and refuse to excuse them was unbearable. Asterisk number 4. Melissa Gilbert, the daughter, who chose loyalty. This one hurt Landon in a different way, because Melissa Gilbert genuinely loved him. She grew up on the set from ages 8 to 18. Landon acted as a real-life father figure, especially after her actual father passed away in 1976. Gilbert and her mother vacationed with the Landon family every Easter in Hawaii. She slept at their house. They felt like her weekend family. Then came the affair with Cindy Clerico, and Gilbert watched the man she idolized betray everyone who trusted him. She noticed Landon walking around the set holding Clerico's puppy. She saw the young woman in tight jeans and high-heeled boots, but Gilbert refused to believe it at first. When the truth came out, Gilbert faced an impossible choice. She was close with Landon's wife, Lynn Noah. Her mother told her to support Lynn and the children, but she also had to work with Landon every single day. Gilbert wrote in her memoir that she was put in a horribly uncomfortable position. Torn between allegiances, she chose to support Lynn, and that decision created a rift with Landon that never fully healed during the show's run, while Gilbert maintained a professional relationship with Landon until Little House ended. The affair broke their close friendship apart. Landon took it personally. The one-child actor who truly loved him like a father chose his ex-wife's side. It was a betrayal he couldn't forgive. Not because Gilbert was wrong, but because her loyalty exposed his guilt in a way he couldn't escape. They eventually reconciled before his death. Gilbert even delivered the eulogy at his funeral. But those years between the affair and his cancer diagnosis, the closeness was gone, replaced by professional courtesy and unspoken disappointment. Number 3. Victor French, the best friend who dared to leave. Victor French and Michael Landon's friendship started on Bonanza and lasted decades. They were so close that French joked they spent more time together than a married couple. Landon cast French as Isaiah Edwards on Little House, giving him one of the show's most beloved roles. French wrote and directed episodes. He became part of Landon's inner circle. Then, in the late 1970s, French got offered his own sitcom called Carter Country, a chance to be the star, a chance to make more money, a chance to step out of Landon's shadow. He took it, and Landon felt betrayed without Landon's blessing. French left to star in Carter Country. Landon was furious and felt spurned by his friend defecting to another show. His revenge was swift and brutal. Landon wrote Mr. Edwards and his entire family out of the show. They simply disappeared from Walnut Grove. No goodbye episode, no explanation. The family just vanished. And when French's adopted son on the show heard Edwards was coming back later, he assumed his character would return to... Instead, Landon had permanently written the boy out of the show, supposedly killed in a streetcar accident. Carter Country lasted 2 seasons. Eventually, Landon and French buried the hatchet and resumed their friendship. French returned to Little House, minus the adopted son. But the message was sent. Challenge Landon's authority, and there are consequences, even for your best friend. Asterisk number 2. Ed Friendly, the partner who wouldn't submit. Ed Friendly wasn't an actor. He was the television producer who brought Little House to life. Friendly acquired the rights to Laura Ingalls Wilder's books and engaged writers for the pilot. He asked Landon to direct and star in the show. At first, they were partners, co-executive producers, building something special together. But their visions for Little House were completely different. Friendly wanted to remain faithful to the books. Landon wanted creative freedom to build fictional stories around the incidents from the books. They fought constantly, and Landon couldn't handle having someone question his creative decisions. The tension grew so severe that Landon gave NBC an ultimatum: fire Friendly or I walk. NBC chose Landon. By the end of the first season, Friendly and Landon parted ways for good. Friendly always received credit on the shows, but they no longer acted as partners. Landon later told the Los Angeles Times that his problem was not delegating authority very well, admitting he had a thing about control and that the only times in his life when he was unhappy was when he didn't have it. Friendly made millions from the show, but he lost a partnership. The collaboration, the opportunity to shape one of television's most iconic series, because Michael Landon couldn't share power. Not with a partner, not with anyone. Number 1. Karen Grassle, the woman who demanded respect. Karen Grassle played Caroline Ingalls for 8 seasons, America's perfect pioneer mother, Charles Ingalls' devoted wife, the heart of the Ingalls family. But off camera, she was Michael Landon's greatest enemy. It started after the first season when Grassle asked for a raise. Landon told her that her salary should match the child actors, claiming NBC did audience testing and Ma Ingalls wasn't a favorite character. Grassle knew this was manipulation. The show was a top 10 hit. Her character was essential. But Landon held all the power as executive producer. When she refused to back down, her scenes started shrinking. She became what she called the incredible shrinking woman. Watching her role diminish week by week, Landon stopped speaking to her. He began mocking her body and facial expressions to crew members. Then, during one scene, Landon gave her a lengthy, deeply felt, passionate kiss that had nothing to do with Charles and Caroline. It was Michael Landon trying to manipulate Karen Grassle into dropping the salary dispute. It didn't work. Grassle eventually got a raise from NBC, but she later admitted she ran herself into the ground with resentment, anger, hurt feelings, and pure exhaustion from fighting Landon every day. Years later, when she confronted him about an episode script that reduced her role to almost nothing, Landon told her to take it up with NBC, that if she was unhappy, she could sue, that it wasn't his problem. Even cast members noticed the tension. The affair with Cindy Clerico made things worse because Grassle was already upset about her salary, and Landon's behavior added fuel to the existing feud. They reconciled before his death in 1991, but the damage lasted years. Grassle admitted that for years afterward, she limited her interactions with Little House fans because the memories were too painful. Karen Grassle dared to ask for what she deserved, and Michael Landon made sure she paid for it every single day for nearly a decade. So there you have it, the 5 actors Michael Landon truly hated, not because they were difficult, not because they lacked talent, but because they challenged his control, saw through his image, or dared to value themselves. Did this change how you see Michael Landon? Does knowing the truth make Little House on the Prairie harder to watch? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. And if you want more shocking revelations about classic TV shows and the secrets Hollywood tried to bury, don't forget to smash that like button, subscribe to the channel, and hit the notification bell because the truth behind America's most wholesome shows, it's rarely as wholesome as it seems. Thanks for watching. We'll see you in the next one.